Hello guys and welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video. And in this video I will be talking about the new spin-off manga series, Letter from Keisuke Baji. And this video will be a chapter review for chapter 14 of Letter from Keisuke Baji. And this chapter is the second chapter of volume 2. So far, this spin-off manga has done a great job of showing us an in-depth look at the life of Baji and Chifuyu, and this chapter was one of the most important chapters of this spin-off manga series. And the reason why I say this is because this chapter brought many new characters into the story, and these characters are the founding members of TOMAN. And this chapter showed us a meeting between all the TOMAN captains, and I really love seeing the moment where Chifuyu met all the TOMAN captains for the very first time. And this chapter is meant to show us the aftermath of Ryusei's decision to leave TOMAN, and this chapter also serves to build up this new gang war between the Yotsuya Kaidan gang and the first division of TOMAN. And in this chapter we also got to see Mikey for the very first time, and there were many funny moments that did a great job of showing us Mikey's playful personality. And in this chapter we also got to see many awesome character interactions between the TOMAN members, and I thought that it was very refreshing to see these new characters being brought into the story. And in this chapter Baji was laying the groundwork for his plan to save Ryusei from the Yotsuya Kaidan gang, and in this volume the author is showing us that saving Ryusei has become Baji's main objective. Anyway guys, before I get into this video guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Tokyo Revengers videos. So let's get into the video now. So in the last chapter we saw that Ryusei decided to betray TOMAN, and in this moment Ryusei punched Chifuyu in the back of the head. And then at the end of the last chapter Ryusei started retreating with Hishi Kojiro, and in this moment they were walking away together. And while he was leaving, Ryusei started apologizing to Baji and Chifuyu, and he told them that he was very sorry about this. And this chapter begins with showing us that Baji and Chifuyu are leaving the batting cages, and they are also with Chifuyu's friends. And Chifuyu is saying that someone called the police to report a disturbance, and this resulted in the battle coming to an end. And Chifuyu's friends said that Chifuyu is amazing, and he also said that he really did join TOMAN. And Chifuyu was narrating this moment, and he was saying that they got beaten up very badly, however despite this, everyone was able to survive. And Chifuyu's friends said that Baji was also amazing, and he told Baji that it's alright if he wants to act otherwise though. And then he told Chifuyu that he has never been this excited in his whole entire life. And Chifuyu just responded to this by saying, right on I guess. And then the next part of this chapter shows us that Baji and Chifuyu are riding on Baji's motorcycle, and Chifuyu was apologizing to Baji for going to the hideout of the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And Baji responded by telling Chifuyu not to worry about it, and he also said that it is his fault for not fully informing him about the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And then Baji said that this was bound to happen someday as long as Ryusei was in the first division of TOMAN. And in this moment Chifuyu was thinking to himself about Ryusei, and he was wondering what happened to Ryusei. And then Baji started telling Chifuyu that the first fight of the first division was with the Yotsuya Kaidan gang, and this was around the time when TOMAN was gaining a very famous reputation. And Baji said that back then the Yotsuya Kaidan gang was a lot smaller, and their group was centered around Ryusei and Hishi Kojiro. And Baji said that during this time they had the reputation of being a 10-man gang. And Baji also said that during that time the Yotsuya Kaidan gang was on equal footing with the first division of TOMAN, however during their last battle there was an interruption, and because of this interruption, they weren't able to settle their dispute, and then Baji said that in this upcoming battle they will settle this once and for all. And then Baji told Chifuyu that if they are going to fight with the Yotsuya Kaidan gang, he doesn't think that the first division will be able to handle that battle all by themselves. And while Baji was saying this we saw that the location switched to a TOMAN meeting with all the executives, and this meeting is taking place in an abandoned building. And this abandoned building is actually the same exact building that we saw in chapter 83 of the Tokyo Revengers manga. And the reason why I know this is because we actually saw that Mikey was sitting on the same exact place that we saw in the manga, and this TOMAN meeting had many parallels with the meeting that we saw in chapter 83 of the Tokyo Revengers manga. And the other reason why I know this is because we can see that the TOMAN flag is sitting on the same exact place that we saw in the manga, and I thought that having the meeting at this location was a very good idea for the spin-off manga. And then in the next scene we get to see all the TOMAN captains for the very first time, and this was a very exciting moment. And the first panel of this meeting shows us Draken, and we also get to see Mitsuya, Pa Chin, and Pei Yin. And in this scene Draken was asking everyone if the message has been passed on. And then Draken made an announcement, and in this announcement he told everyone that the First Division is in trouble with the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And in this page we also got to see the reaction of Mitsuya, and Mitsuya just had a very serious look on his face. And we also got to see a close-up face shot of Pa Chin and Pei Yin, and they both had very serious looks on their faces. And then the next page shows us that Smiley and Angry are also attending this meeting, and I really loved getting to see these two characters. And in this page we also got to see Baji and Chifuyu, and we saw that they were just standing next to each other. And in this scene we can see that Chifuyu has a sweat drop on his face, and we can tell that he is very nervous in anticipation of this meeting. And then we get to see a close-up face shot of Mikey, and Mikey has a very serious facial expression. And then, in the next scene of this chapter we saw that Draken started telling everyone that this is a meeting regarding the issue of the Yotsuya Kaidan gang, and then Draken said that they will begin the meeting. And in this page the author was showing us a panel of all the people who were attending this meeting, and we saw that everyone besides Baji and Chifuyu were sitting down. And then Chifuyu started thinking to himself about the founding members of TOMAN, and he was saying that he heard that the number 1 gang in Japan was taken down by only 6 people. And then Chifuyu said that Pa Chin, Draken, and Mitsuya are all the founding members of TOMAN. And then he said that Pei Yin is the alter ego of Pa Chin, and he also said that the Kawada brothers are Smiley and Angry. And then Chifuyu said that he heard about all these people from Baji, however seeing them in person like this makes him think that these people are so incredibly different. And then Chifuyu thought to himself that these people are the leaders of TOMAN. And then Mikey suddenly started talking to Draken, and Mikey told Draken that his food has curry filling. And while he was saying this we saw that Mikey had a very funny facial expression, and we saw that he was also eating his favorite food at the same exact time, and the food that I am talking about is called taiyaki. And Draken responded to this by telling Mikey to shut the hell up, and he also told him that he doesn't give a shit. And then Draken told Mikey that he is mentally unstable. And Mikey asked Draken what is that supposed to mean, and then Mikey said that this is a very important matter. And Draken just replied to this by saying, "Oh God, alright, we'll go buy you another one after this meeting." And in this moment Chifuyu was thinking to himself that this person is the invincible Mikey, and he also said that this is not how he imagined that Mikey would be. And in this panel Mikey was just pouting, and this illustration was drawn with a very goofy art style. And then we saw that Draken started speaking to Baji, and Draken asked Baji about Chifuyu. And in this moment we saw that everyone was staring at Chifuyu, and Baji responded to this by saying that Chifuyu is the newest member of the First Division, and Baji also said that he brought him here because he is involved in the case. And then Chifuyu started introducing himself to all the TOMAN members, and he said that his name is Chifuyu Matsuno, and he said that he is still a work in progress, however despite this, he is determined to work under Baji. And then we saw that Mitsuya started talking to Chifuyu, and he said that Chifuyu is the person who is approved by Baji, and Mitsuya said that this is all he needs to know. And then Pa Chin suddenly recognized Chifuyu, and Pa Chin said that it is really Chifuyu. And then Pa Chin said thank you to Chifuyu for looking after his dog, and he also said thank you for bringing in good fights. And Pa Chin also said that he did a very good job. And while he was saying this Pa Chin was patting him on the shoulder. And then Pa Chin raised his fist into the air, and he said that he has been pissed off at the Yotsuya Kaidan gang for a really long time, and he also said that they should crush the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And then Smiley said that there is no need to ask, and he also said that it has been a long time since they have had a good fight. And in this moment we can tell that Smiley really wants to have a good fight, and we know this because Smiley is someone who really enjoys fighting. And then Draken started talking about the Yotsuya Kaidan gang, and he said that they are a major force in Tokyo that have over 100 members. And Draken said that this is not a gang that TOMAN can easily defeat. And then Draken said that this means that the time has finally come, and he also said that they don't have any time to waste. And we saw that Chifuyu was very surprised to hear that this gang has 100 members, and he thought to himself that he had no idea that they were such a big gang. And then Pa Chin declared that they should show them the power of TOMAN, however Baji told Pa Chin to wait. And then Baji started bowing down to Mikey, and then he asked Mikey if he can leave this matter to the First Division of TOMAN. And in this moment we also saw the reaction of Chifuyu, and he was just staring at Baji, and Chifuyu looked like he was very surprised. And Pa-chin asked Baji why he would want this. And Draken told Baji that this doesn't have to be his problem alone anymore. However, Baji just responded to this by saying that he already knows that. And Pa-chin asked Baji why the hell he is doing this, and Pa-chin said that he doesn't care how much Baji wants to do this because he can't do it all by himself. And Baji just replied to this by saying that Ryusei's associates are trying to throw him off track. And then Baji declared that he is determined to put a stop to this. And Baji said that Ryusei has been imprisoned by the Yotsuya Kaidan gang, and he also said that Ryusei is going down the wrong path. And while Baji was saying this, we actually got to see an illustration of Kazutora, and in this moment Baji was thinking about what happened to Kazutora. And the reason why they are showing us Kazutora is because Baji doesn't want Ryusei to go down the same dark path as Kazutora, and we can tell that Baji really wants to save Ryusei. And we know that Baji is someone who really cares about his friends, and we know that Baji is someone who will do anything to protect the members of the Tokyo Manji gang. Anyway guys, the next panel shows us that the room is completely silent. However, Mitsuya suddenly broke the silence by saying that this is no reason to fight the Yotsuya Kaidan gang with only the first division, and Mitsuya told Baji that this is way too dangerous. And then in the next panel we get to see Mikey, and Mikey said that he understands. And then Mikey told everyone that he will let Baji deal with the Yotsuya Kaidan gang. And we saw that Draken was very surprised by Mikey's decision, and we also saw that Pa-chin objected to Mikey's decision. However, Mikey just replied to this by saying that he has already made up his mind, and then Mikey started getting up off of his seat, and he told the rest of the TOMAN members that they are dismissed. And in this moment Mikey started walking towards Baji, and Baji just said Mikey's name. And then Mikey decided to walk right past Baji, and while he was doing this Mikey started speaking to Baji. And Mikey told Baji that he will not stand in his way. However, Mikey said that if Baji loses to the Yotsuya Kaidan gang, then he will kill him. And in this moment Mikey suddenly became very serious, and we can tell that his personality has completely changed. And then Mikey told Baji not to jeopardize Toman's reputation, and while he was saying this Mikey had a very serious look on his face. And this moment really did a great job of showing us the duality of Mikey's personality. And the reason why I say this is because it showed us that Mikey has two different sides to his personality. And this chapter started off by showing us the more playful and lighthearted side to Mikey's personality. However, as the tone of the chapter became more intense, we suddenly got to see a more serious side to his personality. And we know that this spin-off manga takes place only 1 year after the incident where Kazutora killed Mikey's older brother, and this moment really did a great job of showing us the tension between Mikey and Baji. And this moment where Mikey walked past Baji is actually a parallel to this moment during the Battle of the Bloody Halloween, and the reason why I say this is because we can see that Baji walked past Mikey in the exact same way that we saw during this chapter. And next the chapter switches to showing us what happened after the Toman meeting, and we see that Baji and Chifuyu are both standing outside. And Chifuyu said that the meeting was very unhinged, and then he said that all the Toman captains had such a bad aura around them. And he also said that he was shaking in their presence, and Chifuyu said that Mikey was especially scary. And Baji responded to this by saying that he knows, and he also told Chifuyu that he is sorry for making him deal with his selfishness. And then Baji went on to say that the Toman captains are correct that the Yotsuya Kaidan gang is way bigger than the first division, and Baji told Chifuyu that he won't force him to do anything, and then Baji said that he will do this even if he has to do it all by himself. However, in the next page of this chapter, we suddenly saw that Chifuyu interrupted Baji, and he asked Baji what he is talking about. And then Chifuyu told Baji that the first division will always follow Baji as their leader. And while he was saying this, we saw that Chifuyu had a smile on his face, and this was a very wholesome moment between Baji and Chifuyu. And in this moment, we got to see the reaction of Baji, and he was so surprised that his eyes were wide open. And then the next panel showed us that Chifuyu raised his fist up into the air. And then Chifuyu said that they will destroy the Yotsuya Kaidan gang without a moment of hesitation. And Chifuyu also said that they will have to give Ryusei a lecture. And then on the last page of this chapter the author is showing us that Baji started smiling after he heard Chifuyu's words. And then Baji just said, "Alright." And while he was saying this, Baji was bumping fists with Chifuyu, and this moment really did a good job of showing us their friendship. Anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, and want to see more like it, then like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.